officers and enlisted personnel of the Philippine National Police, fellow workers in government, my countrymen. This is a speech prepared by the protocol people. It's only 3 pages. But I would like to relate to you the experience we had in Davao, how we got rid of the communists. It was about the time when, after Cory Aquino assumed power during the EDSA Revolution, I saw almost a combustion of people rising against the communist insurgents. Wala silang armas. They didn't have the arms, but apparently their leaders had. And without any definite direction, they just simply said, we are fed up with the Communist Party of the Philippines. You know, out of the 39 known as CHDF, known were assigned in Agdao district. 39 were assigned there in a different detachment. Do you know how many died? 38. Only one survived. But after that, there was almost a rebellion directed against the communists. And I don't know, by the grace of God, they were able to neutralize the insurgents in Davao City. I do not claim any credit there, but I was there, and I was then the appointed vice mayor. Kaya hindi ko maano itong insurgents. The fire itself must come from the belly of the people. Kung magsabi lang sana ang tao na ayaw na nila ang komunista at talagang totohanan nila, hindi sila matakot. You know, sabi nga ni Churchill, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. Without really knowing how many insurgents were in Davao who were armed, simply people just said that you are not welcome in the barangays anymore. We will kill you. And to our surprise, well, of course, there was this leader, an ex-police General Kalida, and a host of Alasamasa leaders took over the communities and continued the drive against the communists. Nawala. It was almost just like a battle cry of, we do not like you anymore. So these insurgents must know that the people have long suffered the brutality of the NPAs. They collect taxes, the NPAs, everywhere and anywhere. Sigurado ako, cement factories in the far-flung areas of the country, Davao, lahat agricultural companies, nagbabayad sa kanila yan. You know, people must realize that the Communist Party of the Philippines has a broad taxation, and they collect taxes almost from the lowly farmer to the conglomerates, yung mga malalaking negosyo. And we estimate, intelligence community, that they are earning, the Politburo is earning billions of pesos, and yet their soldiers down on the ground are dying sometimes without eating a meal for 2 days. Yan ang hindi alam ng insurgents. Yan ang hindi alam ng sundalo ng komunista. Yan ang hindi alam ng mga civilian na ganun talaga ang palakad. While the Politburo's families and members and their children are all abroad enjoying the fat of the land from the Communist Party of the Philippines. Mga anak nila are studying in Europe, London. Some of them are traveling. The latest intelligence report was that a group of them went to Turkey upon the invitation of the government, I think, of Turkey, and some of them have opted to study there. Yan ang hindi alam ng pobreng kawal ng sundalo. And this must be brought to light para malaman nila ang totoo. Talagang malaman nila ang totoo. Para sa ganon, then they would realize kung sino, whom are they fighting for. That's the sad story of the Communist Party of the Philippines. They are now in dwindling because I'd like to congratulate the AFP, PNP for their drive. It's a dwindling ragtag bandits robbing there, killing there for money or for whatever, without any direction or any ideology at all. Yan ang nangyari dyan. And so this communist, madali ito. We can help from all the sectors para itong one nation approach, matatalo natin ang komunista. I have constructed so many condo units. As a matter of fact, you remember the condo units that I built for you in saan yung ninakaw ng mga kadamay? Bulacan. Those were really intended for soldiers. When it was completed, kadamay, a leftist organization, not even a leftist, a communist organization, took over the building and invited their members to occupy the building. And so there was a raucous, and I knew that it was going to be violent because they were simply not there, squatters. And I said to the soldiers and the policemen, peace officers, bigay na lang ninyo. You know, we cannot get it by force because it would result in a violence. Apparently, the members of this organization are lulled into believing that it is the duty of government to build houses for them in that particular place. Sabi ko sa sundalo, ibigay na lang ninyo para walang gulo. Have a little patience. Anyway, I will build you another condo that would be bigger and more spacious because the issue also at the time was it was too small for a family to move around. So, ginawaan ko kayo, in Davao, you have 1,000 units. It is ready for occupancy for soldiers. But the mayor, si Inday Sara, also built another, almost like a village. It is being constructed now. And she wants to give it to the surrenderies. Ang deal ko sa surrenderies, if you surrender, I will automatically give you a place to stay. Then I will send you to TESDA under Secretary La Peña. You learn the basics of whatever vocational study that you can be master. And after that, for the time being, I will pay you and I will support you with the food sustenance. Yun ang deal ko sa kanila. But surrender everyone. Drop the arms. I cannot seem to, well, surrender without an arms is not good to me because nothing changes the equation up in the mountains. If the firearms are still there and they come down to surrender minus the arms, then nothing has changed in the equation, in the totality. The sum of it is not good. Pero yan ang deal natin sa kanila. But if they choose to fight, I said, I've been criticized by the human rights. What is wrong when I order the policemen and the soldier that if you see them in the mountains carrying arms, shoot them. Shoot them. Do not wait that you are seen or that you have to confront him physically. If you see him carrying a gun in the mountains, that soldier, the NPA, will kill you. So, ang order ko, patayin mo na. And I ran, again, afoul with the human rights. They don't know the dynamics of war. That when a person is there and identify himself with the left or with the communist, and he bears a gun, that means to say that he's ready to fight. And I will not, I would rather have a soldier who is alive than and pay a soldier going out of battle, killing so many, ambush, killing so many government security forces. Yan ang ano ko dyan. Ang second, itong druga. This, I be patient with me because I am trying to explain to you. When I ran for the president, you'd notice that I never promised so many things. And I won by about 6 million majority over my next opponent. Why is that? I was in the number 4 in the ratings and suddenly, 2 weeks before, umakyat ako sa 32 and stayed there until election day to win the election. Alam mo, it was part of the messaging, actually. I never say, I will build your infrastructure or something. You need not really banner those things because whether you like it or not, you have to repair the roads. There is an appropriation for money every year, and there is also money for new roads. You need not really crow about these things because it's there. It must be done. with or without your promise. What I promise to the people is, one is that I will go after criminality, car, car, carjacking, uh, hold-ups with robbery, hold-ups with homicide, hold-ups coupled with rape. And those are the things that, well, in Davao, they say that I killed them. I neither confirm nor affirm that those things because those are really kasali na sa away. It was a war on drugs and it was a war against criminality. And you do not go there out naked without any something to protect you or to kill your enemy. Yung drugs na yan. Now, you'd be surprised. Today, every night, I have a briefer. Yung lahat ba ng pangalan mong napapabis? Sa 888? It's 888 is the hotline. Anytime that you want to call me, just call 888 and tell me I'd like to talk to the mayor. You give your name. Yan ang hotline. But the PT before, every day we publish the persons arrested for the last 24 hours. Makita mo dyan, almost 1,000 a day of arrested people connected with drugs. And the drugs has continued to be imported, getting inside into our communities and continue to plunder the lives of people and whatever income. You know, remember a family, if the father, mother, 3 daughters or three sons and daughters, pag itong breadwinner ng family, babagsak ito sa droga, the entire family becomes dysfunctional. And there will be quarrels, there will be turmoil in the family. So, invariably, the wife would get out to seek for another environment or a home. But most of the poor, they go to the Middle East. So a family now is without a mother, dysfunctional lalo. And you know what is painful to me is this. These women, the Filipino woman would go to the Middle East to work there as slaves. And in some parts of the Middle East, not all, but if they are deployed outside in the rural areas of the cities in the Middle East, when they work for a family, rape or sexual abuse is part of the territory. And what is painful is that despite this derogation of their person, they lose the dignity and they suffer it. They continue to save. They go to the Philippines back after staying 5 years, enduring all indignities. Alam mo bakit? How many times have you read in the newspaper about Filipina domestic helpers just running out of the window and falling to the ground? And how many times did you hear during interviews that they are not allowed to sleep more than 4 hours. After cleaning the house of the master, he is ordered to clean the house of his daughter-in-law, the son's wife, and then you have to also, on the extra side, clean the house of the sister or brother. That is why wala silang tulog. That's the reason why they sleep only 4 or 3 hours. So, that is what I said. When they come home, they are off, they're happy and thinking in their minds in coming home that their children have finished schooling or are still studying, when in fact, when she arrives home, I said, there is a distorted family. The husband has abandoned the children, and all, the young ones, the women, are forced into prostitution to survive. And the men, well, you know how it is. It's easy for them to enter into the world of underworld. They become criminals. And you multiply that, because there are thousands, there are 2 million of them. You multiply that into families that are really rendered inutil. Yan ang masakit sa akin. Kaya ako, galit talaga ako sa droga. That is why I take the issue with the human rights. I said, when I was in Davao, I was a prosecutor, and I told the people, I will build a community that is good enough for comfort for you. And I will destroy the people who will destroy my country. And I will kill the people who will destroy the youth, our sons and daughters. For after all, we are not rich. When we reach old age, who will take care of us? Your neighbor? It will be your children. And if they have, if they just while away their time during the absence of the mother and enter into the world of crimes, everything has collapsed. The wife and they separate, and there are so many dysfunctional families similar to what I'm saying now. That is what I said. Destroy my country, I will kill you. You destroy the youth of the land, I will kill you. So what's wrong with that? What law, what divine law or divine right will prevent me from saying, butang ina mo, papatayin kita? I'm protecting my country. It is my duty as president to protect and serve the people of the Republic of the Philippines. So, in obedience to that mandate, that is how I interpret it. Do not, if you want, do not. But every day, you see in the PTV, thousands are arrested every day. And the shabu or marijuana that are seized or seizures made on that day, kasi the report comes to me late at night. There are shabus, and they continue to number in billions until now. and the human rights are not even worried about how many children would still be destroyed and homes are, I said, rendered dysfunctional. This is the one-side story of people said 7,000 killed. Well, that was 5 years I started to declare war. But the other side is, how many policemen and soldiers did they lose? Plenty. Kaya niya sabihin na hindi lumalaban. That is why mainit talaga ako sa droga. Mainit ako sa droga. Nasabi ko, kung kaibigan kita, magkasala ka, huwag droga. Kasi pag droga, talagang papatayin kita. Baski kaibigan kita. Crime, corruption, I only promise I will take care of criminality, drugs, corruption. And I will try to build an infrastructure in the city that those only that we can afford. Nandiyan naman lahat. Nakita naman. I have complied actually. The drug problem is a never-ending one. But if you want to see how it can destroy a country, just look at Mexico, Sinaloa. They are the ones who dictate who will run for governor in the local areas, who run for the mayor. It's narco-politics. Dito, how many mayors? How many mayors died who were into drugs? Alam ninyo. Because you were the ones ordered to arrest them. How many of them resisted arrest and died? Barangay captains. So it is a continuing one, and it is to our credit that there is an international and national coalition of Lingkod Bayan Advocacy support groups and multipliers. You know, as a civilian, you are not different from a peace officer. When a crime is committed in your presence, in your presence, and you have the means to effect an arrest, do it and say that, you know, hey guy, you are doing an unlawful thing, and I'm going to make an arrest, a citizen's arrest, and bring you to this station. And that is the same rule for the police. Ang mistaken notion kasi ganito. When there is a criminal and there is the police or a citizen, especially if you have the arm, you can always challenge him. Come, you are arrested, you are being placed under arrest. Surrender. And if he has an arm and he starts to pull out it from his pocket, and you have also yours, even as a citizen, some are entitled to own and bring their guns out of their residences. Barilin ninyo. Because when you make an arrest, it presupposes that the criminal must surrender to the majesty of the law. And the duty of the arresting officer, be he a military police or in making a civilian arrest, your duty is to overcome his resistance. So that if he chooses to fight you with gun for gun or maybe a blunt instrument, you have every right also to defend yourself, self-preservation, In the law, it's called self-defense. You have to bring him under your control and drag him, dead or alive, to the station. That is the essence of arrest. If he goes voluntarily with you, good. That would be the ideal setup. But if they resist arrest violently, then you have every right also to do your thing commensurate. If he wants to a boxing match, then you do it. And when the police arrives, you just explain that, I made that is why, that is good. Because if you have this collision, you have a list of people who are there and who can arm themselves. I will order the police. If you are qualified, get a gun and help us enforce the laws. Do not simply say that you are getting an arrest kasi tapos wala kang, ikaw ang mamatay. And you are not supposed to die. The criminal must die. You must live. Remember, arrest again. You said, you are under arrest. Put down your gun and come with us peacefully because you will be brought to the station for the necessary documentation, blatter, then the investigation. Ganon yan. If ang arrest, pag ayaw niya, you have to, the word in the law books itself, it says, you have to overcome his arrest so that you can bring him, can place him under the custody of the law and bring him to the station. That's the rule. Pagka ganon ang nangyari, then the policeman, do not worry. Let me know if that is the case. I will defend you. Ako na mismo. Because I gave you the lecture and I gave you the guarantee that I will protect you as long as you do your duty in accordance with law. You are not supposed to kill a person when he is down, lying, kneeling, begging for his life. Because atin, hindi lalaki yan ganun. Pag nag-surrender ng tao, tapos na. But that is how it is. Corruption, any office. Yung permit, I don't know how many days dito sa Manila or in the other cities with Metro Manila. Business permit. That's a big business also for corruption in government. In Davao, the business permit must be processed and released at least on that day. Or if the employee would ask for an allowance, time to process the whole documents, he may ask the mayor for another day. But if you sit on the documents or application or whatever, and you are there hanging onto the papers for more than 3 days, 5 days, it means that you are holding it on because you want to ask something. That is corruption. So, in any census, any regulatory requirement, pag magpunta ka ng pirma, ayaw mo pirma o matagal, sabihin mo sa akin, 888, name the director or whatever, secretary. You name him and tell us the story in 5 sentences. Your application has not been acted. despite you have paid all your dues, because I will call that, and if you want, I will call that officer of the government, and I will call you and meet you together. And if you feel like slapping the idiot, slap him twice or thrice. Ganon yan eh. Ganon ako. Ganon ang ginagawa ko. Pinapasampal ko. Putang ina niya. So that is the corruption. If it's a big one, you know, itong sa Maynila na Manila Bay na reclamation, thousands have applied. But because of the corruption that I have heard early last year, there's no more processing of papers for hininto ko. And it has cost the big companies lots of money, lost for the project, delayed projects. But that's what I said. I told you, do not give money to the people in government. If I know that you have given him even a single centavo, I will throw your application to the waste basket. And I have done that, and I'm doing it every day. Para talagang magtino ito. And I have fired so many people. I do not, sometimes I read their names. But in the customs, I have fired 73. Sa immigration, yung wearing the black, when an incoming passengers, especially foreigner, would face your, ayan, corruption ng ano, yung, sabi nila yung candy, yung pastillas. Those involved in the pastillas, 43 of them. Ang sakit doon, even those who are retirable, I dismiss them. And I'm still continuing this. You just listen talk to the people every day, every Monday, and you would see and hear that I have this program, Talk to the People, and I have read the people that I have fired from the government. Ganon lang po, as simple as that. Others, kaya na ninyo. Ang hindi lang ninyo kaya ito. But I said, if you want to participate in the prosecution of the crime, you can have a gun, and if you are qualified, I will ask the police to give you the license. But please try to observe the law. If you want, you invite me once again when you are ready, and I will lecture to you the law on arrest, search, and seizure. As a policeman, yan lang ang ano. I was teaching criminal law, criminal procedure, criminal evidence during my prosecution days. And I have reduced it into a matrix graphic form. And if you'll just listen 1 hour, that will all be the things that you'd want to do. Makinig lang kayong mabuti. From the time of arrest, then delivery to the persons, proper judicial authorities. Tapos dito, how many hours? Then you go to the return of warrant, how to accomplish it. Kung makinig lang kayo niyan, in 1 hour, if you have a gathering, and I will have a day in the year that I will this is the year that, this is my last year, I can be with you and tell you all about the law. So, hindi ko nabasahin itong speech ko. This was made by the people in basahin ko na lang siguro. Kaawa naman. They took time, maybe the girls there waited for, this is not my, this is, oh, do not ever think that my speech are prepared by me, no. They just, then they gave it to me in the morning. I am pleased to join the officers and men of the PNP as well as our volunteers as we launch the international and national coalition of Lingkod Bayan Advocacy support groups and force multipliers. We cannot overemphasize the invaluable role of the PNP in deterring crime and maintaining peace and order in our society. But we also cannot deny the fact that if we are to totally eradicate criminality and terrorism, we need the active participation of our people. The formation of this coalition is a testament to the desire of private citizens and our communities to take part in the difficult task of achieving lasting peace across the nation. Let me therefore thank our dedicated advocacy groups and force multipliers who will play an important role in helping the PNP fulfill its mandate, and especially in restoring and reinforcing public trust in our police force. The onslaught of COVID-19 pandemic has made heroes of our ordinary Filipinos. Today, I see a new batch of heroes, or selfless volunteers who come from various sectors of our society. To our volunteer barangay officials, environmentalists, women groups, and the LGBT community, riders and motorists, the religious sector. Is there a priest here? No? Peace, but I do not quarrel with priests. I criticize the church, the Roman Catholic Church, not the individual priests or the lay workers who work for God. As you begin your volunteer work, I want you to keep in mind that our cooperation is integral in the success of our collective pursuit of genuine and lasting peace. I therefore trust that your partnership with the PNP will remain strong in the years ahead. We all have a part in building a better nation. I am pleased to know that you have heeded the call to serve and improve the quality of life of our people. As we overcome this pandemic, may we be more united in ushering a brighter and safer future for every Filipino. Keep safe at mabuhay kayong lahat.